Welcome back to Trader Talk. The Super 12 is finally over and the semi-finals are here. Well, let's get stuck in and we'll start with New Zealand versus Pakistan. The Kiwis are faves here, and I personally think rightfully so. But what's your take on things?
I think I'm going to have to go against you there. I think Pakistan could be marginal favourites here. I think if anything, it's just a very even game. I wouldn't want to say confidently one way or the other, but at these current prices, I'd be backing Pakistan. I think that there's obviously they're coming into form at the right time. The last couple of games, Shaheen Afridi's looked almost back to his best, and I think one of the good matchups in there for Pakistan is Shaheen swinging it back into Finn Allen early. I think in the games in this tournament so far, New Zealand have been so reliant on Finn Allen getting them off to a rapid start, maybe 30, 35 off not many balls. And if Shaheen does bowl well to him early on and gets him out, then I think that puts New Zealand under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, that makes sense. You mentioned there about Pakistan's form. Obviously, the way that it went in their side of the group, they must be experiencing a lift right now. And how much can that affect their chances in this game?
Yeah, if you believe in momentum, then the momentum is certainly with them here. I think they've been buoyed a little bit by Mohammed Harris coming into the team. He's looked really good so far, and he's given them that little injection of pace to the innings because the two openers have often been criticised of being a bit too slow, which has been the case this tournament as well. So having Harris coming in and attacking from ball one at three is a big help to them.
Yeah, for sure, mate. But I guess it's not all doom and gloom for New Zealand. They've had a pretty good tournament. Aside from the humbling against England, they've looked in decent form, which is kind of hence why I'm siding with them this time. One player who I'll be looking out for is Kane Williamson. Obviously, I think he scored 61 against Ireland, seems to be coming into form at the right time. I'll probably be siding with him in the top Kiwi batsman market at 4-1. Have you got any arguments against that, or are you with me?
Yeah, so we're actually top price, Kane Williamson top back there at 4-1, and I think that kind of reflects our view that we're not quite seeing what you've seen. I think the one thing that is for him is that he could continue to play the anchor role, and especially if they're chasing a low score, he may well end up just trying to anchor and maybe score 40 off 40 like he did last time and try and let other players hit around him. So that might be one way that you could get with Kane in the top batsman market there. But for me, I think that especially if they're chasing a big score, if they're worried about setting a big target, I'm not sure I've seen enough from him this tournament for him to be able to go massive.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. But as you're saying, if Afridi wipes out the openers pretty early on, we could be in for an anchor. So that's what I'm hoping for anyway. Okay, then moving on to England versus India. Absolutely massive game for England, well, for both sides. And I wanted to start off with asking, is this the first time that England have gone into a game this tournament when they aren't favourites? I know potentially Australia might have been favourites against them, but that obviously never happened. So how will that change England's approach to this or not at all?
Yeah, so the Australia game, Australia would have been favourites, but obviously got rained off. I don't think it will change England's approach at all, really. I think it's just a case of just trying to beat who's in front of you, and I'm not sure that they'd be too bothered if they weren't favourites for the game.
Yeah, fair enough. I can't imagine it makes too much difference. But let's look into the price a little bit more then. And can you try to explain to me why England are the underdogs in this on the market?
Yeah, so I think a lot of it is down to a couple of injury issues for England. Milan has done his groin and sat out practice again or did some light jogging, but I think he's doing a fitness test on Wednesday morning where if he can't sprint, then he's going to have to decide either way whether he wants to play. And I think that will be a huge loss for England at Adelaide because that ground is so well suited to the way that he plays. That will create a massive hole in England's batting lineup. And there's also small injury concern about Mark Wood, and that would be a huge loss if he ended up not playing. I think it's just that he's suffering stiffness or he's a bit sore because he's maybe not used to playing so many games in so many days, certainly in recent years. And if it turned out that he wasn't able to play, I think that is a massive blow for England. But hopefully, fingers crossed, he'll be fit and Milan will pull through. And if that is the case, then I think England will definitely be a bet in this game, as I think they should be fairly decent favourites with a full strength team.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, and I think you'll be with me here, and most England fans will be, as it'll be a much better game if both of those players are involved. So I'm personally hoping that they can get fit and we can see them. Moving on then, let's look into some of the other markets. I wanted to ask you, actually, I'm a massive fan of Butler, as we've discussed through most of these episodes, and I'm expecting a pretty big performance from him against India. Feels like the timing is quite right. But what I wanted to get from you is what market should I be looking for, really, if I'm looking to side with Jos Buttler?
Yeah, so I think if you wanted to side with Butler here, the player performance market would be a good one to look at. So how that market works is a player will score 1 point per run that they score, 10 points for a catch, and 25 points for a stumping. So obviously that's the stumping part is only applicable to keepers. So that makes it a bit more of an interesting market with Jos here. The fact that this Adelaide pitch it'll be the third time that it's been used. There's a chance that it might take quite a lot of spin. So we might see England bowling, certainly plenty of Rashid, Liam Livingstone, and then maybe a bit of Moeen Ali as well. So that brings stumpings into play a lot more. So that could be a good way to get with Butler. Not only are you seeing that he could score a lot of runs, you're also getting catches and stumpings on side there as well. So we've got that priced at 44.49. So I mean, if he goes on to score 50 with the bat, then you've just basically got a free chance to add some points there if he takes any catches or stumpings.
Yeah, thanks for that. I like that a lot. It sounds like it's got the potential to be, well, excitement throughout. You get sort of both innings you're buzzing for. So thanks very much. I'll be looking a bit deeper into that. All right then. Well, we've discussed the two semis. Lots of excitement to come. I just wanted to bring up a previous tip of yours that you thought South Africa are going to win the tournament. I guess let's not talk too much about that because I don't want to bring you down. But now that they're out, who are you siding with?
Yeah, it was a shame for South Africa. They kind of the cricket team had reverted to type a little bit there, and when it really mattered, they just couldn't get it done. But I'm now very much fancying England. I think that the winner of this India-England game will go on to win the final as well, because I think that both of these teams are significantly better than the two teams in the other semi-final. So I'm really looking forward to the game, and if England can beat India, then I think that they will certainly be big favourites in the final, and I think they can go on to win it.
Yeah, it's hard to disagree with you there. I just don't like writing off New Zealand. I feel like they're always there or thereabouts. It's kind of a little bit of a surprise that they're this far. Only 2 wins away from lifting the trophy. I really wouldn't want to write them off, but yeah, England are quite hard to deny, and I, for one, will definitely be supporting them the whole way. So I'm probably with you there. Well, that's it for today then, guys. Thanks very much for joining us, and thanks again, Will. I must remind you, if you are fixed odds betting or spread betting with us, then please do so responsibly and enjoy the semi-finals. And I'll pick up with you for the final, Will.
Cheers, Dan.
Thanks, mate.